An Oklahoma teenager is seriously sick from vaping, plus a history-making day in Washington during the first steps of an impeachment inquiry unfold, and why Uber is losing money. OU Nightly starts now. And thanks for joining us for OU Nightly. I'm Cal Day.
And I'm Mariah Conduff. We begin with a strong warning for anyone who vapes.
After dozens of illnesses related to e-cigarettes across the country, the first case has surfaced here in the Sooner State.
OU Nightly's Olivia Whithead is live in the newsroom with this health alert.
That's right, guys. The first Oklahoma lung injury case associated with vaping has been confirmed, and we know it's a teenager under the age of 18. We also know the person is from Tulsa County. The Oklahoma State Department of Health notified its health care partners, asking them to report suspected cases for investigation. Health officials advise strongly against the usage of vaping products while this ongoing investigation takes place.
And we really advise against buying e-cigarette products off the street and or modifying those products by adding other substances. If you buy it off the street, then the quality and the specific ingredients may be unknown. If an individual is trying to quit tobacco products, we encourage you using other evidence-based resources to quit by calling the 1-800-QUIT-NOW line and or speaking with your healthcare provider.
Nationally, 12 people have died from vaping-related lung problems. Another 800 across 46 states have been diagnosed with lung illnesses due to vaping. Symptoms include a prolonged cough, shortness of breath, or chest pain from e-cigarette usage. Anyone experiencing this should see a health care provider as soon as possible. Reporting from Studio B, Olivia Whithead, OU Nightly.
All right, thank you, Olivia. Well, Johnson & Johnson is appealing an Oklahoma judge's $572 million order to the state Supreme Court. The company's attorneys argue the judgment in the opioid case is excessive. To address the state's opioid crisis, Oklahoma presented the judge with a possible remedy spanning 20 to 30 years at a projected cost of between $12 and $17 billion. The state's AG office is reviewing the appeal.
Many eyes on Washington today as the Director of National Intelligence testifies on Capitol Hill. Skylar Tallal joins us now in the News Center.
Thanks, Mariah. The head of National Intelligence told Congress today what held up the whistleblower complaint was concern that it might be covered by presidential executive privilege. Joseph McGuire testified the whistleblower followed the law and acted in good faith. He said there is no reason to believe the person is a political hack, as President Trump has alleged. McGuire repeatedly said that everything about this incident is unique and unprecedented. The president is on a mission to find out who gave information to the whistleblower about his call to the Ukrainian president. Trump referred to this person as close to a spy. He also said, "You know what we used to do in the old days when we were smart with spies and treason, right? We used to handle it a little differently than we do now." The president has also taken to social media all day, calling the entire investigation a witch hunt. National Intelligence Director McGuire said he will not permit the whistleblower to be subject to any retaliation or adverse consequences for going to the Inspector General. Earlier today, the Senate voted to temporarily extend government funding into November. Lawmakers are hoping to avoid a government shutdown at the end of this month. The vote was 82 to 15 and is on its way to the White House for Trump's signature. He is expected to sign it before the September 30th deadline. Lawmakers need more time to complete the annual appropriations process. The big issues ahead include setting spending levels for border security and the military. And Jennifer Lopez and Shakira are set to perform at the 2020 Super Bowl.
All right, we'll be looking forward to that. Thank you very much, Skylar. Well, the university is hosting multiple events to celebrate Civil Rights Week. OU Nightly's Sydney Forsee reports on the Office of Diversity and Inclusion's Town Hall.
Faculty and students are welcomed to the Civil Rights Town Hall by a Native American drum song, but the welcoming tone quickly turned sour.
When we said to have this town hall, it was way before we knew that something was going to happen. So, but we wanted the conversations to continue.
The image of a freshman student in blackface was on the minds of everyone in the room. The university's original plan was to discuss the new We Are inclusion plan, but this weekend's racist incident changed the course of discussion.
But what can we do now that helps us have a better day? Because I'm being honest with you, I'm tired.
That was the question of the night, as students and staff stood up one by one to say they felt enough was not being done by the university to teach inclusion and tackle racist behavior. Ideas such as adding mandatory diversity classes to curriculum were discussed, but the much-needed word of campus decision makers was missing. The university's interim president was noticeably absent tonight, but the Office of Student Affairs asked him not to attend, as they wanted to keep tonight's town hall a personal engagement between students and faculty. President Harris was expected to attend, but his absence left Student Affairs and the Diversity Inclusion Office struggling to give students answers. After 2 hours, attendees slowly left the gathering with no more answers than when the meeting first started. Sydney Forsee, OU Nightly.
The Diversity and Inclusion Office plans to move forward with its We Are campaign and hold another town hall in November. And this Friday, the Campus Activities Council kicks off Fall Family Weekend here at OU. Friday is packed with events including campus tours, a relaxing morning of yoga, a carnival, and much more. Saturday's activities start off with an OU Aviation open house and a tailgate to kick off the OU versus Texas Tech game. To wrap up the Fall Family Weekend, join CAC for a free brunch Sunday morning. For more information, you can visit their website. A couple days in the fall, and it's still feeling pretty warm outside, Cal.
It really is. And Taylor Stephenson joins us now live on the South Oval. Taylor, what's it like out there?
It is the 4th day of fall out here, and yet it's not feeling like it. This sun just peeked out and it's beating down on the right side of my body. It's feeling really hot out here. If you look around, some of the students out here are wearing shorts and t-shirts. That's just indicative of what we are seeing today and what we will see tomorrow. It's going to be 91 degrees tomorrow. It's going to be hot. Summer is still hanging on, and fall is just not in this forecast for the next few days. But if you look outside up in the sky, we have a few clouds. Now that is foreshadowing into what could be coming on tomorrow and Saturday. Saturday, we do have a messy day for our game day, and I will tell you the timing of all of that when we come up. But coming up in a few minutes, I will talk about how summer is still trying to hang on here, how the game could be impacted by some severe storms in our area on Saturday morning, and fall might be peeking its head out at the end of next week. Cal and Mariah, back to you.
Thank you, Taylor. It's been said you have to spend money to make money. Find out which popular companies' spending habits could leave their future in jeopardy.
Plus, a vending machine unlike one you probably used before when OU Nightly continues.
Those who are planning a camping trip at our state parks should be prepared for some hikes. An increase of campsite base rates is expected to come due to decades of underfunding. The price increase will go towards the upkeep of amenities and will help prevent the closure of some parks. It is estimated that 9.3 million people visit Oklahoma state parks annually, generating $26 million a year.
Well, employer-sponsored health coverage is becoming less affordable, according to a new recent study. Robert Mcgee has more in Money Matters.
Thanks, guys. Would you be happy paying for health insurance that costs as much as a new car? New data from the Kaiser Family Foundation found that annual premium for family health insurance from an employer was more than $20,000 this year. This is a 5% increase from last year, and workers are now paying an average of $6,000 annually towards their coverage. The survey also says that the average deductible is about $1,600 for single coverage. Uber is blowing through billions of dollars, but CEO Dara Khosrowshahi is defending the business model. Khosrowshahi says Uber invests heavily in promotions to entice customers to its on-demand ride and meal delivery offerings. The company lost more than $5 billion in the second quarter. That's its largest quarterly loss to date. Since going public in May and after raising $8 billion in one of the largest public offerings ever, Uber's stock is down 30%. Despite that, Khosrowshahi says he's optimistic for Uber's future. The past isn't always the past. Remember Carson King, the Iowa State fan who held up a sign at college game day? Well, he raised more than $1 million off of a sign asking for beer money, then donated it to an Iowa's Children's Hospital. Anheuser-Busch agreed to match whatever King raised and supply him with a year's worth of their beer. But that is no longer the case after racist tweets from King's past have resurfaced. The company says the tweets don't align with the company's value as a brand and want, quote, no further association with him. And that just goes to show how important it is to be mindful of what you say online. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Robert. Most vending machines sell food and candy, but there's a vending machine in Oklahoma City that is full of cars. Carvana opened its doors today, featuring 27 used cars for sale. The company hopes to make car buying and selling more efficient for customers. You can select a car, choose a pickup time, and use a Carvana coin to activate the vending machine. Carvana's goal is to cut down car buying time and make it more fun.
Well, Oklahoma is now offering flu shots for free at the Walker Storm Shelter here on campus. As flu season begins, pharmacies are beginning to spread the awareness. Dr. Farms Pharmacy has had their hands tied as flu season gets underway. Typically, customers flock to get their hands on the influenza vaccine that protects against the annual flu. Now, as flu cases start to rise, the importance of protecting yourself rises as well.
We've actually probably done a little more than in the past this month. I think that's just due to people starting to get sick, and they see people in the news, die from the flu. So they want to get protected earlier the better.
Students can receive free flu shots when they present a student ID at the Walker Tower Storm Shelter tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Important to get those. And there's still plenty of time to get that flu shot and to get your plans ready for the weekend, Mariah.
How about a free concert? We'll give you the details after the break.
And Taylor Stephenson tells you when you may need an umbrella this weekend.
Friday and Saturday we have some chances for rain. Stay with us after the break. Welcome back to OU Nightly. It's looking very nice outside in Oklahoma City. It's looking the same here in Norman, but we have some few high clouds in the sky. But right now we're sitting at 84 degrees. The sun is peeking its head a little bit, but those dew points are in the 70s. That means that we are feeling that oppressive kind of humidity. You're feeling it on your skin and just not feeling good. But looking at tomorrow, we do have a severe weather outlook for the extreme northern parts of the state. This includes Enid, and this is a 1 out of 5 chance to see some damaging wind and some hail. Now looking into Saturday, it spreads across Oklahoma, including Norman, Oklahoma City, Tulsa areas, and this is also a chance for some damaging winds and some small hail. Now looking at the timing of these storms, these clouds just fill into our area on Friday, a few pop-up showers to our north, then Saturday morning around the Lawton area, we're seeing that heavier rain down here. That is going to move into Norman during game time, so please bring an umbrella. This will help you, and just also make sure your travel plans are in place so that you know how to get to and from the game safely. Now on Saturday around 3 p.m. we had those storms, the heavier storms to the north side of Oklahoma City, but that will all clear out by the weekend into Saturday. And Sunday morning we could see a little bit more rain, but really there's those clouds in the sky. Tonight 74 degrees here in Norman and 73 in Oklahoma City. Waking up and walking out the door tomorrow, 76, but we're going to stay sunny all day. 90 is going to be our high at 5 p.m. Looking into highs tomorrow, 92 degrees in the city and here in Norman, but Oklahoma City, you're sitting around the 80s, which means that we're going to feel a little bit cooler today. But tomorrow, that summer heat is still around. We do have some gustier winds with gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Saturday is slightly cooler with some severe storms in the area though, but on Monday and Tuesday we'll be in the low 80s finally. And then I don't know if y'all see that, but on Thursday, 77 as our high. That means that fall is finally here, and I'm so excited for that.
Yes, I'm so excited for cooler temperatures.
I am too. It seems, I can't remember it being in September and still seeing 90s this late in the month.
Oh, me either.
It's crazy, but it's good to see that 70 up there.
For sure.
Thanks, Taylor. Oklahoma City Scissortail Park opens this weekend after a year of construction. The park's grand opening will feature 3 days of concerts, food trucks, and family-friendly adventures. Oklahoma natives Kings of Leon will be back home to perform a free concert to open the park on Friday. Every detail of the park was designed to create something spectacular for the city.
I think it's a world-class park. It has a lot of details that needs to grow in and mature. It's going to take a little bit of time. You know, people need to give it the time to do that.
Scissortail Park's website has details on what you can and can't bring to the concert.
Well, TCU is in town tonight for the semester's first test.
Several teams are kicking off conference play this week. Here's Janae Reeves.
That's right, it's finally time for Big 12 play. Volleyball swept TCU yesterday. Soccer will also battle the Horned Frogs tonight. And shortly, we'll get more into the Sooners' Big 12 opener. Stay with us because sports is right around the corner. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Janae Reeves, and it's time for sports. The Sooners are coming off of a bye week, and conference play finally begins this Saturday. The Texas Tech Red Raiders will head to Norman and make their way to Owen Field.
It was unique having a bye week this early, certainly. But I do think some benefits for us, a chance to take a quick back look at the non-conference games.
Yeah, I think it's really important for us. You know, it gives us time to really focus in on our technique, you know, our fundamentals, things like that, communication things too. So I think it's very important for us.
And one position group that will be even more well-rested is the defensive line. Not only did they get some time off, they also get back injured in Kenneth Mann. He joins a deep group of talented players.
He's just chomping at the bit, so, you know, more defensive line depth, experience, quality players is never a bad thing, certainly when you're playing as many guys as we are right now.
I definitely feel like it's going to help out in the long run, just to, you know, make sure that we're fresh, and just as long as we're hitting the standard, we'll be solid.
The girls opened Big 12 play last night and did their thing as they dominated TCU inside of McCaslin Fieldhouse. The team came out swinging with a total of 42 kills in the match, and grad transfer Ashlyn Dunbar led the team with 13 hits, while junior Keaton Kinley had a team and match high of 16 digs on the night. The Sooners are now 9-3 on the season and 1-0 in conference play. Next up, they hit the road to face West Virginia Saturday at 1. OU Soccer will also kick off their first game in Big 12 play tonight in Fort Worth as they take on TCU. They're undefeated in 3 of their last 5 Big 12 openers. And with non-conference play in the past, the Sooners plan on snagging a Big 12 win. It's week 4, and the Packers are set to host the Eagles tonight at 8:20. After a revamp of the Packers defense, they head into tonight 3-0. But don't make your predictions just yet. Although Philly is 1-2, Aaron Rodgers must sort out his offensive difficulties before being able to lock down another win. Pro Bowl running back Melvin Gordon broke his 64-day holdout as he made his return to the Los Angeles Chargers this morning. In Gordon's absence, the Chargers are 1-2 and currently ranked 13th in rushing yards. Gordon is expected to have a physical, but is not expected to play on the road this Sunday against Miami. With so many great players out there in the league, it can be hard to figure out who truly is the best. For the 9th season in a row, ESPN predicts the top players in the NBA. Steph is in at 6, Anthony Davis at 5, and James Harden ranked 4. While the first and second rankings have not been released, LeBron James is surprisingly ranked at number 3, and OU's own Trae Young comes in at 28. I don't understand these rankings. The messed up part about it is they have Zion Williamson ranked as 42 and Klay Thompson ranked as 49.
It's good to see Trae Young make it, though.
Exactly.
Thanks, Janae. Coming up, a driving range in New Jersey adds a new touch.
Grab your clubs. You might see some familiar faces when OU Nightly continues.
I'm Shannon Ehrhardt at the OU Nightly Update Desk. President Trump isn't the only one who has been active on Twitter these past few hours. Democratic politician Adam Schiff states that the actions Trump is taking is not representing a democracy. Trump claims Schiff has zero credibility and is just trying to hurt the Republican Party. That's it for now. Back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Shannon. Well, golfers in New Jersey are getting quite the target practice these days. Several politicians are on display at a driving range.
There are some familiar faces like Kellyanne Conway and the president himself. Democratic candidates Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders can be seen on the course too. The creator of the idea says some love the idea and some don't.
Well, that's interesting. I've certainly not seen anything like that before.
No, not at all.
That's interesting. Well, thank you very much. Quick look at the weather before we go.
We're just having that sunshine all throughout today, and tomorrow we're seeing those storms. So just be prepared for that in game day, where we could see some of the storms pop up during the game. please bring an umbrella and make sure that you take the safest route to the game.
All right, I'll have to find my poncho. Thank you very much, Taylor. And thank you for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by the Gaylord College of Journalism and Mass Communication on the campus of the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night, live at 4:30.
Have a great evening. Good night.